Welcome back, everybody, to this episode 6, the last one before we'll actually start build the deck. And today we have the pleasure of opening a Final Fantasy bundle. And this is the regular version, so I'm not expecting any collector packs in here. But I have heard that there are some special art treatments that I'm looking forward to see if we get any exciting ones. As this is the the third time that we are opening Final Fantasy product, we'll probably skim a bit faster over the comments and uncommons than we have done previously, because we have already talked a lot about them. There's also a little bit of an instruction card. Yeah, nothing too important. Then we have packs. There should be 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yes. And then we have the pack over here, which also contains the special art versions. I won't turn it over in case it spoils everything, so I'll leave that till last. And then for now, we will get started with the packs. But yeah, had a lot of fun opening this set so far. There are so many playable cards for Commander. Hopefully we get some more here today. It would especially be nice with some of the crystals. Start out with a wizard bird token. And then we'll just, as always, divide these into usable for Commander or not. But also seeing as we have already discussed most of these, I won't actually talk a lot about the comments. I will recommend that you go and watch either the play booster box opening or the collector booster box opening. I don't think we had the Shapoof 1 and a green for an enchantment. Whenever land you control enters, put a +1/+1 counter on target creature control, and then you can pay 5 and 2 green, and then it becomes a 7/7 beast creature in addition to its other types. So yeah, decent in a landfall deck. Oh, sack we already had number of times, also decent. Thieves Knife, 2 and a blue, job select, equipped creature gets +1/+1, has whenever this creature deals combat damage to a player, draw a card. And there's a rogue in addition to its other type, probably too expensive, goes into the mid. Oh, speaking of crystals, we actually got the water crystal, which I haven't opened yet. Super nice if you are building a deck with a lot of blue cards in it. Let's read it out. 2 and 2 blue, sorry. Blue spells you cast cost 1 less to cast. If an opponent would mill 1 or more cards, they mill that many cards +4 instead. 4 and 2 blue and tap it. Each opponent mills cards equals to the number of cards in your hand. So of course, it's primarily good in decks where you're trying to mill out opponents, but that's also a thing that blue really loves to do. So yeah, nice one. Oh, and then we get a battle at the big bridge. Reprint of Fatal Push. 1 black, instant, destroy target creature if it has mana value 2 or less. Then it has a revolt, destroy that creature if it has mana value 4 or less instead. If a permanent you control left the battlefield this turn. Yeah, that's certainly playable, and it is quite beautiful art in that one as well. A lot of monsters being trampled. Or is it the other character, Kefka? As I've said, I'm not really familiar with the set. Nice saloon planes. Or also not familiar with the Final Fantasy. I mean, the lore, even though I'm a gamer, I've actually never played any Final Fantasy games. So I can't speak to that. Let's do the art card. Funny looking dude. And then we do comments again. Oh, Vincent's Limit Break. That's a nice common. One and a black for an instant, and then it has tiered, so you can change the base power and toughness of a creature. It's okay limited. I don't think it's strong enough for commander. Freya Crescent. Gold Saucer. I haven't seen that one. Land. That's a town. You can tap it to add one colorless. Or you can pay 2 and tap it, flip a coin. If you win the flip, create a treasure token. Or you can tap it and pay 3 and sacrifice 2 artifacts to draw a card. Unsure if it's actually playable, but it sounds fun. Reno and Root we already had. I don't think we had the Emperor Palamisia. A blue and a red for a 2/2 human noble wizard. You can tap it to add blue or red, and you can only spend this mana to cast a non-creature spell. And whenever you cast a non-creature spell, if at least 4 mana was spent to cast it, put a +1/+1 counter on the Emperor of Palamisia. Then, if it has 3 or more +1/+1 counters on it, transform it. And it transforms into the Lord Master Hell, Demon Noble Wizard 3/3. Whenever the Lord Master of Hell attacks, it deals X damage to each opponent, where X is the number of non-creature, non-land cards in your graveyard. So, any type of spellslinger deck, this is good. Even if you don't plan to cast that many 4 mana instants or sorceries, then it's still going to be quite good. So definitely playable. Then for the rare, we have Joshua Phoenix Dominant, 1, a red and a blue and a white. Human Noble Wizard 3/4. When it enters, discard up to 2 cards, then draw that many cards. And you can pay 3, a red and a white, to tap it, and then exile it and return it to the battlefield transformed under its owner's control. And it comes back as Phoenix Warden of Fire, 4/4 Saga Phoenix. First two chapters, it deals 2 damage to each opponent. On the final chapter, return any number of target creature cards with total mana value 6 or less from your graveyard to the battlefield. Exile Phoenix, then return it to the battlefield. So it can do this multiple times if you want it to, and that definitely makes it playable. And even a little bit of discarding and drawing can be nice in the right deck as well. The dinosaur we had, and then just a regular tap town. I don't think we have pulled quite enough cards to build a deck dedicated to towns, but they're still worth keeping. You never know if there's going to be added more support for them later. We have a treasure token with a hero, and then Kutrup Forager, 2 and a black for a 3/2 zombie horror. When this creature enters, choose 1, destroy target creature that was dealt damage this turn, exile up to 2 target cards from a single graveyard. In a zombie specific deck, it might be playable, but not in Commander. So all of these we already had. Oh, not this one, I think. Sahagin, 1 and a blue for 1/3 Merfolk Warrior. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, if at least 4 mana was spent to cast it, put a +1/+1 count on this creature, and it can't be blocked this turn. Doesn't necessarily sound powerful, but anything that can become unblockable is potentially good. Monk's Fist we had. we had that one. Queen Brane. 2 and a red for a human noble. 2/1 with prowess. Whenever she attacks, you create a 1/1 black wizard creature token. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, this token deals 1 damage to each opponent. So again, if you're doing a spellslinger deck, if you're focusing on wizards, which is really a theme, could be usable. Reach the horizon, a nice little bit of ramp. And then we have the rare Tella Great Sage. 3, a blue and a red for a 3/3 human wizard. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, create a 1/1 colorless hero creature token. If 4 or more mana was spent to cast that spell, draw 2 cards. If 8 or more mana was spent to cast that spell, sacrifice Tella and it deals that much damage to each opponent. It's a bit on the expensive side for what it does. But I guess if you really build around casting big non-creature things, then it could be doable. But yeah, nice one. Oh, and then we also get a Darkness Crystal, 2 and 2 black for legendary artifact. Black spells you cast cost 1 less to cast. If a non-token creature an opponent controls would die, instead exile it and you gain 2 life. And then for 4 and 2 black, you can tap it, put target creature card exiled with the Darkness Crystal onto the battlefield tapped under your control with 2 additional +1/+1 counters on it. So this is super strong. I mean, basically, any opponent that is relying on the graveyard to do stuff, this just stops it because it gets exiled. But then, anytime a non-token creature dies, you also gain 2 life over a game of Commander that could be 20 life or 30 even, easily. And then you can even bring some of that interesting stuff back if you have some leftover mana. So this is super nice. Then we have Shambling Siege, or however you want to pronounce it, 2 and a black for a 3/3 mutant horror. It enters tapped, and whenever you cast a non-creature spell, you may pay a black. If you do, return this card from your graveyard to your hand. I do still think that's, even if it has the ability to come back, that it's too expensive. Then we have our nice forest, which is it also chocobos we see in front of that big old tree. Nice looking. It's interesting that they decided to not do like true basic lands in like regular frames. That's only for the towns, but all of the normal lands are full art and they are beautiful looking. Wizard token with the mean hero dude. I would have loved if they had. I think there are way too few different tokens in this set. You get the same ones over and over, and I think it's also always nice if they go back a bit from previous sets. Ice Magic, 1 and a blue. For a tiered instant, you can return target creature to its owner's hand. Target creature's owner puts it on their choice of the top or bottom of the library. Yeah, this is too expensive for Commander. Haste Magic might be good enough. Slash of Light is not good enough. Iron Giant. 7 colorless for a 6/6 demon with Vigilance, Reach, and Trample. In most cases, not good enough. Are demons an important not type? I'm going to say no. This goes in the no pile. Magic Infantry is not good enough. Then we have Sleep Magic. 1 blue for an enchantment aura, enchant creature. With this, aura enters tap enchanted creature. Enchanted creature doesn't untap during its controller's untap step. And when enchanted creature is dealt damage, sacrifice this aura. Yeah, so basically it's kind of removal, but then also not, because it's quite easy to get rid of. On the other hand, it is very cheap, so it is playable. Phoenix down, 1 white for an artifact. I can pay 1 and a white and tap it to exile it, and then you get to choose 1. Return target creature card with mana value 4 less from your graveyard to the battlefield tapped. Or you can exile target skeleton, spirit, or zombie. So basically this is 3 mana to return something with 4 or less from your graveyard to the battlefield. even though it comes in tapped. I mean, this is a fair cost, and you never know if the other last ability might come in handy as well. Nice one. Then we have Geared King of Dwarves, red and a white for 1/1 Dwarf Noble double strike. When it or another dwarf you control enters, and whenever an equipment you control enters, you may discard a card. If you do, draw a card. In the right equipment heavy deck, it could be playable. Oh, then we have Stillskin Moogle Merchant. We actually already pulled that one, but let's read it anyway. Moogle 1/2 for 1 white. Lifelink. You can pay 2 and tap it, and then target opponent gains control of another target permanent you control. If they do, you draw a card. I've thought about it a bit, but I'm very unsure on what deck I would build around it. But it's a cute little one. And then we get the newfound adventure again. Had those in previous boxes. Nice little ram for green. Oh, and then we get a second ram. This one, Sarah Farron, 1 a green and a white for human citizen 2/2. The first legendary creature spell you cast each turn costs 2 less to cast. At the beginning of combat on your turn, if you control 2 or more other legendary creatures, you may transform her. Let's see, she turns into the crystallized Sarah. And then it's a legendary artifact. The first legendary creature spell you cast each turn costs 2 less to cast, and legendary creatures you control gets +2/+2. She's not too expensive. I'm guessing in a legendary matters deck, she might be okay. And even in regular decks, she just makes your commander cheaper to cast. So yeah, quite a bit of versatility there. And then we get Trino Dark City, town that we've also gotten previously. Okay, we are getting some nice playable cards in the rare and mythic slot. I mean, that's the best we hope for in this series, where we don't focus on value, but only if we can actually play them. Oh, I don't actually think I've seen that hero yet. Nice. Alright. Resentful Revelation. If it had been instant, it would have been fine. Not good enough. Not good enough. Not good enough. Not good enough. Good enough. Summon Anima 4 and 2 black for 4/4. First 3 chapters are called Pain. You draw a card and you lose 1 life. And the last chapter, each opponent sacrifices a creature of their choice and loses 3 life. So you get to draw 3 cards ideally. It is a 4 and 2 black to cast it. Might be playable if you care about enchantments. We have Colosseum Behemoth, 5 and 2 green for creature beast, 7/7 with trample, and when it enters, choose 1. Destroy target artifact, enchantment, or draw a card. Unless you really care about beasts, and even then it's probably not good enough. Then we have Orange Inspiration, 2 and a white for an instant. Attacking creatures get +2/+0 until end of turn. It has flashback for 2 and 2 white. If you are doing something token heavy, but would you then actually want to play it? Nah, probably not good enough, but goes in the maybe pile. Summon Shiva, 3 and 2 blue for 4/5 Saga Elemental. And the first 2 chapters, tap target creature and opponent controls, put a stun counter on it. And then at the end step, draw a card for each tapped creature your opponent controls. So that's not only the ones you put counters on. If anybody attacked and their things are tapped, you get cards. But also, so basically, it gives you a turn where your opponents are unlikely to attack. I'm unsure about the value in that, but could be fun. Give them something to think about. Oh, and then we have Summon Brynhildir in this special art. A 1 and a red for a 2/1 Saga Knight. First ability, Chain. Exile the top card of your library. During any turn you put a lore counter on this saga, you may play that card. Yeah, nice. So, like, kind of fake card draw. Then the next two ones are Gestalt mode. When you next cast a creature spell this turn, it gains haste until end of turn. So, will give two things haste. It is fairly cheap. I'm going to say that is definitely playable, and it is a super nice looking card. This one with the flame might also be interesting in night decks as well. Excellent one. Scorpion Sentinel is not usable, and then we have a like almost old Greek temple for an island. All right. Yeah, we are actually pulling quite a number of cards that we didn't get in any of the other boxes. So that's good. A little bit of an art card there. And then, turn it upside down. Namasu Trader was not good enough. It's not good enough. We just had that one. Not good enough. This one is good enough. Thornberry. 1 black for 2 and a 1. Salamander Horror. This creature enters tapped with a stun counter on it. During your turn, this creature has first strike and death touch. Yeah, better cards with that ability. Fang, Fearless Ice. Oh, I think that's the first time we pulled the other half of this meld. 2 and a black for 2/3 Human Warrior. Whenever one or more cards leave your graveyard, you draw a card and you lose 1 life. This ability triggers only once each turn. And then if you actually have the other half, this is also the bottom. So this is also the bottom half. So I do think we have probably gotten that one before. Missing the top half. Wandering Minstrel. Human Bard, 1/3 for a green and a blue. Lands you control enter untapped. And that's basically what you need to know about this card. Of course, with all of the colors on the last one, it means that it only goes into all color decks. Or if you play it as a commander, you can basically play anything in that deck. But that lands you control enter untapped is probably primary one. Playable. And we get a second rare in this pack. The Masamune. 3 for legendary artifact equipment. As long as your creature is attacking, it has first strike and must be blocked if able. Equipped creature has, if a creature dying causes a triggered ability of this creature or an emblem you own to trigger, that ability triggers an additional time. So interesting if you're playing something where maybe your opponents lose life when stuff dies, then this can have an effect. It's a bit quirky how it's worded, but definitely interesting card. And we actually get a third rare in this pack, Darkness of Eternity, reprint of Dark Ritual, 1 black for an instant that gives you 3 black. Super powerful card. I believe it's on the Game Changer list. So that was nice. And then the land we turned over initially is actually foil. Excellent. So yeah, another Dark Ritual. We actually had one in one of the other boxes as well, but it is a good card in any black deck. Can be super swingy. Wizard token, the bird. Then we go into these. Then we have Adventurous Airship, 3 colors for an artifact vehicle, 3/2 flying. When this vehicle attacks, draw a card, then discard a card. Barely playable in the right deck. Tidus Blitzball Star, 1 a white and a blue for 2/1 Human Warrior. Whenever an artifact you control enters, put a +1/+1 counter on Tidus. Whenever Tidus attacks, tap target creature and opponent controls. You can quickly get a lot of artifacts, so very playable card, that one. Same with the Poopo UFO that we've had previously. We have Swallowed by Leviathan, 2 and a blue, instant, choose target spell, surveil 2, then counter the chosen spell unless its controller pays 1 for each card in your graveyard. The good thing is that it can counter anything, which is fairly rare. It is 2 and a blue, a bit on the expensive side. You also get to put stuff in your graveyard, maybe playable in the right deck. Then we have Side Quest Card Collection, 3 and a blue for an enchantment. When it enters, draw 3 cards, then discard 2 cards. At the beginning of your end step, if 8 or more cards are in your graveyard, transform this enchantment. Then it turns into Magic card, Artifact Vehicle, 4/4, Flying Crew 1. I'm a bit skeptical about this one being good enough, but if you're really milling a lot, maybe let's put it in the maybe pile. Then we get Gilgamesh, Master at Arms for 4 and 2 red for a 6/6 human samurai and a lot of text. When it enters or attacks, look at the top 6 cards of your library. You may put any number of equipment cards from among them onto the battlefield. Put the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. Then you put 1 or more equipment onto the battlefield this way. When you put 1 or more equipment onto the battlefield this way, you may attach one of them to a samurai you control. Okay, so in an equipment heavy deck, it basically gives you all that equipment and even adds it to the battlefield. Even if you get to attack with it twice, you may have gotten like 3 pieces of equipment that are on the battlefield for free. Yeah, this is it's expensive, but it's powerful in an equipment deck, so excellent. Town Greeter was okay, and then a Gone Town of Ruin. Okay, 2 packs left before we go on and see what we got as bonus cards. And start out with a art card of a mean looking thing. Yeah, nice. And then we go into Blitzball Shot, not playable. Ice Flan, not playable. Already had so many of the Ifrits. Sephiroth's Invention might be playable in the right deck. Same with Ariman. Same with Lunatic Pandora. Same with Black Walls. Same with Torkel, which we've had a number of. We have Sorcerer's Schemes. 3 and a red. Sorcery, return target instant or sorcery card from your graveyard. Or exiled card with flashback you own to your hand. Add red. Sounds expensive, and it is sorcery speed. You can probably do some recursive stuff, but I'm putting it in a maybe pile. Then we get Summon Primal Garuda, 3 and a white for 3/3 Saga Harpy. First ability, Aerial Blast. This creature deals 4 damage to target tapped creature and opponent controls. And then the next 2, another target creature control gets +1/+0 and gains flying until end of turn. Flying can of course be good. You can remove something with the first ability. Borderline playable. Oh, then we get Dark Confidant. 1 and a black for 2/1 human wizard. At the beginning of your upkeep, reveal the top card of your library and put that card into your hand. You lose life equal to its mana value. So this is something where if you're playing like a lot of cheap cards, it will just bring them into your hand. Won't be too hard on you, but it can also basically kill you if you are a bit unlucky. So a swingy card, fun one, a reprint of a classic, and it's a mythic, so we can't complain about that. Barrett Wallace, 3 and a red for 4/4 human rebel with reach, and whenever it attacks, it deals damage equal to the number of equipped creatures you control to defending player. yeah, not good enough for the cost. And then we have a nice plains, some crystal trees or whatever it is. Okay, last pack in the bundle. All right, so let's see. Treasure, one half. Hit another hero, the other half. And then we have the Go Blue Gardener, which is just like a green mana dog. Might be useful. Combat tutorial, 2 and a blue for sorcery. Target player draws 2 cards. Put a +1/+1 counter on up to 1 target creature control. Had been way better as an instant, but may actually be fairly playable. 2 cards is not too bad. Call of the Mountain Chocobo, bit of Red Ram that we also had. Playable. Paladin's Arms is playable. Undercity Red was not. Crossroads Villages. Unexpected Request, 2 and a red for sorcery. Gain control of target creature until end of turn. Untap that creature, it gains haste until end of turn. You may attach an equipment you control to that creature. If you do, unattach it at the beginning of the next end step. Yeah, can always be fun to steal your opponent's stuff, and if you're playing an equipment deck, so you can attach something with a powerful effect that may force them to kill it. Yeah, I think it's fun. Then we have Shantoto, Tactician Magician, 1 a blue and a red for 0/4 Dwarf Wizard. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, Shantoto gets +X/+0 until end of turn, where X is the amount of mana spent to cast that spell. If X is 4 or more, draw a card. Yeah, playable in the right deck. I'm not a fan of until end of turn effects in Commander because they can be so hard to track, but that's another matter. Yeah, definitely in the playable pile. Cloud of Darkness, we already had quite a number of copies on. Chocobo Racetrack, 3 and 2 green for an artifact. Landfall, whenever a land you control enters, create a 2/2 green bird creature token. With whenever a land you control enters, this token gets +1/+0 until end of turn. That looks to be very expensive for that kind of effect, but yeah, if you have some way to bring all of your sacrificed lands back, then it could also quickly create 5 birds or something. And birds are starting to become a thing. Goes into the maybe pile. Then we have Balam Garden, Seed Academy, a land town for our rare. This land enters tapped. It taps for green or blue, and you can pay 5 a green and a blue and tap it. So basically 8 mana and to transform it. But it does cost 1 less for each other town you control. And it transforms into Balam Garden Airborne. 5/4 flying. When it attacks, draw a card and it crews for 1. It's not the most interesting land, I must say. But again, if you care about towns, it might be okay. Then we get Memories of Nibelheim. That's a reprint of Stroke of Midnight for 2 and a white. Instant, destroy target non-land permanent. Its controller creates a 1/1 white human creature token. There are better removal in white, but sometimes you also care about your opponents creating tokens. I have a couple of decks that do that, so it's still playable in those. Then we get Self-Destruct. We already had that. And then Gongaga Reactor Town as our final. Okay, so let's do a count of the rares and mythics. So 1 mythic. So 1 mythic in 9 packs is a little bit on the low side, but we did get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 rares. So not too shabby. And as we talked about, many of them were playable. But now we are down to this final pack that also should contain some bonus cards. Let's see if they are spoiled when we turn it over. They are indeed. We get Ultra's Obnoxious Octopus. As far as I understand it, it's not the art itself, but the fact that they are foiled in this art that you can only get from here. It's 1 and a blue for 2/1 octopus, and whenever you cast a non-creature spell, if at least 4 mana was spent to cast it, tap target creature an opponent controls and put a stun counter on it. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, if at least 8 mana was spent to cast it, put 8 +1/+1 counters on ultras. Yeah, not the most interesting card, but let's put it in the maybe pile, and we should get another one behind it. Oh, another uncommon. Oh, and Friar that we already have so many copies of. Friar Crescent, 1 for 1 red for 1/1. Red Knight, during your turn, Freya Crescent has flying. You can tap it to add a red, and you can spend this mana only to cast an equipment spell or activate an equip ability. So this is a nice card. Would have been nice though if one of these had been a rare, but yeah, guess we can't complain. And then of course we get a lot of the lands. I do like this one specifically, driving down the highway. Yeah, so a bit of full art lands is always good to get. And then I'm expecting the final half of the lands to be in non-foil, or are the lands actually okay? So okay, not all of them. So maybe like half of these lands were in foil. Yeah, not the best bundle, especially since we didn't get anything particularly interesting in the bonus slot. But hope you enjoyed the opening, and next time we'll actually start to build some decks. See you then. Bye.